Okay, so now that you've gotten some familiarity with just kind of your drafting tools, so we have our T-square, and then we're going to have our triangle, and we're going to have our pencils, right? What we want to do next is we're going to actually draw a real project that we're going to build, and we're going to build a really simple but powerful jig or tool, which is called a bench hook. So this is what it looks like. It has this on the bottom as well. So the idea with this is it does actually two things. It's a shooting board and a bench hook. This bottom piece will clamp onto the edge of the bench and it will sit flat. And what this allows you to do is, this is set up for a left-handed person, is you can put a piece of material. This is 90 degrees here. These angles is 90 degrees. You can put a piece of material here, you can hold it, and then you can saw across like that. So you can create very accurate crosscuts at 90 degrees on a piece of material. The other thing that it can do is on this side, sometimes your cut is not going to be perfect. You can run a standard plane against this edge. So this is the shooting board feature. And as you slide it across here, it will, sorry, I moved my camera. As you slide it across, it will clean up that edge. So there's the blade on the plane, and it will clean up that edge, and then you really can dial in your shape there. So we're going to draw this by hand. We're going to make a real plan set from this, and then we're going to see how we do to actually build it. So we're going to have to make a bunch of isometric rectangles to start with to get an idea of it. So I'm going to basically create the base. I'm going to think of it as kind of this orientation. So I want to look at it where it's maybe like that. Do I want to do it like that, or do I want to do it, might be a little bit better to see this. So I'm going to try to think of it as an angle like this. If you can see that whole thing, it's going to kind of look like that. All right, so we're going to try to create that. I'm going to sketch it out. I'm going to speed up the camera so that you can kind of watch. You don't have to watch me go line by line. But I'm going to just sketch out the idea of it. Again, my isometric drawing doesn't have to be perfect in terms of dimensions, but I do have to get a sense of kind of what this thing looks like on paper before I could actually create it in hand. So go ahead and just watch this as you can. We're going to speed up a little bit so that we can do this in a relatively quick amount of time. Alright, so I've sketched out all of the lines, and it's a little bit hard to follow because it adjusts my construction line. So I have a couple of options here. I can start erasing some of the lines that I don't want. So that will hopefully clean it up a little bit. So I have this top block sitting here, and that's the cut guide. And then I have this bottom one. Those all look actually pretty good. So I've erased them a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much about being perfectly erased because I'm going to go back with a darker line and copy them all now. So I'm going to just go back and kind of darken them up. I'm going to use my orange pencil so that you can see it a little bit better. Alright, so there we go. I have created, I know it doesn't look necessarily perfect, but it is my three-dimensional view of my bench hook and shooting board. So I'm going to actually add that to it. So I'm going to give it a title here. So I'm just going to make a very faint line to kind of put my text in between. And this is my bench hook. And my shooting board. So I'm going to just combine those two here. Okay, so that gives me my first drawing, so I'm going to put actually that in the bottom corner here, and I'm going to, this is sheet 1, and we're probably going to try to do this in 2, alright? Maybe we'll have 3. So there's my first one. Alright, good job with that. We're going to now create the actual dimensioned view for this so that we can create our actual shooting board here.